Hi everyone, and today in this video we will try to cover companies which will benefit because of the energy consumption which has increased a lot in the current time, and along with that which are the companies which are going to benefit because of the AI and data center boom. And any stock we discuss over here is not a buy or sell recommendation, and this video is more about learning that which are the proxy players which will benefit because of the energy segment. So let's start by thinking this way, that there are companies which are creating energy, but to store that energy and to transfer from one part to the other part, we need companies who are in the transformer and distribution segment. So there are multiple companies. Like the first company is the Siemens Limited, because this is the biggest company in this segment. So they make transformers and switch gears which are used to store the electricity, and we can see their current market cap, which is almost 1,12,000 crores. So currently at a PE of 65, and good part is that their ROC is 23% and ROE is almost 18%. Then afterwards, if you look at their current financial statement, so we can see over here that their current revenue is almost 22,000 crores. And if we compare that with FY21, which is almost 13,200 crores, so that is a nice decent growth we can see in the top line. Even their operating profit went up from 1,450 crores to almost 3,100 crores. And obviously, as it's a large cap, so we can't expect 25 or 30% CAGR. So compared to this company, we can talk about GE Vernova, which is their current competitor. And along with that, there are also other players in this segment like the Hitachi Energy and GE Vernova, which is one of the best player in this segment. As we can see their ROE and ROC, which is 40% and ROC of 54%. And if we take a quick look at the technicals, so we can see the current price is almost 3,100 rupees, and they made an all-time high of almost 4,100 rupees. Okay, so as we discussed which are the companies which will help to transfer the energy from one point to the other. Now addition to that, let's try to think that which is another industry which will benefit because of this reason. And the second industry we will discuss is the cables and wire segment. So as we already know that Polycab is the best and the biggest player in the cables and wire segment, and we can see their current market cap, which is almost 1,16,000 crores. And just take a look at their ROC and ROE. It's 29% and 21%. So along with Polycab, there are also other players like RR Cable and KEI Industries, which are also very good companies. But as Polycab already have a very good distribution and they hold a strong market share, so that's why I am more bullish on Polycab. And afterwards, if we take a quick look at their financials, so just take a look at their revenue. So in March 2020, their revenue was almost 8,800 crores, and in 5 years, the revenue has touched 23,000 crores. And even if you look at their net profit, which is 766 crores, so that is up to 2,240 crores. And even if you look at their compounded sales and profit growth, so they have given a 5-year 20% CAGR growth in the sales part and 21% in the profit growth. And let's take a look at Polycab technicals. So we can see over here that recently, because of the markets which was not doing that great, so it went down to almost 4,900 rupees. But just take a look at the bullish momentum which it gave after April 25, and as we can see that it's trading above all the moving averages, the 21, the 50 and the 200-day moving average. So this is one of the signs that the company is looking very bullish. Then afterwards, if we take a look at RR Cable, so as we can see in their technicals, so along with Polycab, it also went down from almost 1,800 rupees to almost 900 rupees. So that's a 50% drop in the stock price. But now currently it's consolidating at 1,200 rupees. So technically, RR Cable is not doing that great compared to Polycab. And even though if we say that their previous PE was almost 80 and now currently it's 43, but still, as we know, Polycab is doing much better. So I think it's much better and wise decision to bet in those companies. Okay, so as of now, we have covered companies which are helping in transferring the electricity from one point to another. But there is another segment which will benefit because of this reason. But let's say, for example, if there is a power cut and we need a generator. So there are two companies in this segment. The first one is the Cummins, which is the biggest company in this segment, as they have a market cap of almost 1,10,000 crores and their PE ratio is almost 51. Along with that, their ROC and ROE is also looking very good. So Cummins, as we already know, that they make diesel engines, fuel engines and generators. And if we take a quick look at their current financial statement, so over here we can see that during March 21, their revenue was almost 4,360 crores, but now in March 25, it's almost more than double. But if we compare their revenue to the historical financials, so their revenue has been very flattish And one of the main reason is the current energy demand is very much more compared to the historical time. And even if you look at their operating profit margins, so it was 14%, but now it's 20%. So we can definitely see that the company is growing and currently witnessing operating leverage. And another company which is the competitor of Cummins is the Kirloskar Oil Engines. So Kirloskar Oil Engines is almost 1/10 the size of the Cummins with almost 13,000 crore of market cap with a current PE ratio of 29. ROCE and ROE compared to the Cummins is way low. And in my opinion, if I had to bet in one of the two companies, so I would say major of the part should go in the Cummins and small part of the money should go in the Kirloskar Oil Engine. And let's take a quick look at their technicals. So after making an all-time high of 1,400 rupees in July 2024, it went down to almost 600 rupees. And now currently it's slightly recovering from its bottom, and we can see some huge volumes in the last few months. So after looking this, we can say that there are some funds or companies who might be interested in buying Kirloskar. And if we take a look at Cummins, so it also made an all-time high of almost 4,100 rupees in July 24. Then afterwards, it also came down to almost 2,600 rupees. But compared to Kirloskar, we can say they actually covered most of their drawdown in the last few months. And even in Cummins, we can see some huge volumes in the last few months. So technically, I would say Cummins is looking much better. Okay, now after covering the transformer, cables and the generator segment, let's take a look at some of the companies which are in the data center. So the first company we will discuss is the NetWeb, which is one of the obvious one with a market cap of almost 22,000 crores. Their PE might look very high, which is 177, but if you look at their growth and the expected growth, and after the recent PLI scheme news, the stock has given a good rally. Next, if you look at their financial numbers, so in March 2022, they had a revenue of 247 crores, and in March 25, the revenue is currently 1,140 crores. So that is almost a 5x jump. And if you look at their net profit, so that also went up from 22 crores to 114 crores. And just look at their CAGR sales growth and profit growth. So that is 49% in the last 5 years and 96% in the last 5 years. And if you look at NetWeb technicals, so last year in December, it was trading almost 2,800 rupees, and after that it came down to 1,500 rupees. But recently after the PLI scheme news, just take a look at the volume growth, which is very high in the last few months. So the stock went up from 2,000 rupees to 4,000 rupees in a span of 1 or 2 months. So definitely there are some FIs and DIs who are buying this stock. Now as we know, in the data center, the GPUs are kept into the racks. And now we are going to cover company which make the racks, and the company which manufacture racks is Blackbox. So currently with a market cap of almost 10,000 crores and a stock PE of 35.7, and if you look at their ROC and ROE, it's more than 30%. And if we take a quick look at their financial numbers, so in March 2021, they had a revenue of almost 4,600 crores, and now currently it's almost 6,000 crores. So we can see that the revenue growth is much slower compared to the other data center companies. But this is also one company that we can keep in our watch list. Then next, in the data center segment, there is a company which provides the cloud services, and it is E2E. So I have already made a detailed video on E2E, so anyone who is interested, they can definitely check it out. So currently with a market cap of almost 6,800 crores and a PE of almost 200, so it might be looking a bit overvalued, but let's see how it will do. And if we take a look at E2E technicals, so recently it was trading at 2,000 rupees, and in the last 1 month it has came up to almost 3,500 rupees. And again we can see the same pattern over here, that there were high volumes in the last few months. Okay, so as of now we have discussed the companies which are into the transformers, cables, generators and data center. Now there is another industry which is going to benefit a lot in the energy boom. So that is AC industry, and there are multiple players like Blue Star, Voltas and Amber Enterprises. So Amber is one of the best company in this segment, currently with a market cap of almost 30,000 crores and a PE of 106. So we can see recently it's giving a very good bullish momentum, that it was trading at 6,000 rupees in May 25, and now currently it's trading at almost 8,500 rupees. And another interesting point of the Amber is that their PE ratio, it's almost closer to its median PE in the last 5 years. Then afterwards, if we compare Amber with other players like the Blue Star and Voltas, so Blue Star currently is having the best ROE and ROC. So I think these companies are going to benefit a lot, because data centers create a lot of heat, and in order to keep the data centers cool, we need a lot of ACs. And after the GST cuts, we can also say that common people will buy more AC in the coming future. So thank you for watching this video. So according to me, these are some industries and companies which will benefit in the energy boom. If I have missed any industry or any companies, write down in the comment section, and see you in the next video.